Hi everyone, I'm from Saqat, Palestine, and we are in May month. It's a Nakba month for us in a month that first I would like to say what is a Nakba first to you. And just to be sure, in order to understand the whole subject, we need to really to connect it with the root cause of what the matter. We cannot talk about what's happening today and separating the original sin from what we have today. It's a long Nakba started in 1948, and we Palestinian, at least as a Palestinian who lost our home, our language, our alphabet, our libraries, our towns, our history. We lost everything. At least we have the right to remember that. And at least nobody can criminalize us for being Palestinian. But this is the reality here. Even if we get talking about a Nakba, it is forbidden. And no other than Einstein talk about a Nakba. It was just 1 month ago. Before 1948 in May, 1 month before in April, Einstein sent a letter to one of the executive Zionists in the United States who they dared to ask Einstein to be the president of this apartheid. And he said clearly, when the final catastrophe befallen us in Palestine, the first responsible for it is the British and the gang from our own group. He's talking about the Zionists from our own ranks. Sorry, that's exactly what he said. So if Einstein in 1948 defined to you a simple matter that there is a process, and when you are talking here about final catastrophe, that means it was a long line of history before we get to 15 of May, Nakba, and this is from there until today. We have the people of Gaza having another Nakba. Do you know that in Gaza in 1948, they throw there over 190,000 people refugee from what we call now Israel. These are the people are being bombarded in Palestine now. And we the Palestinian here, whether we were in Palestine or uprooted from our own homeland, we are one people. We will always remember what happened to us. We cannot forget that. And when happened in Gaza now, it's opening our wounds, all of us. And it should be open, the wounds, if everybody know about real history and the misery there. We in Canada here forget about, and how can I say forget about the original sin here? But when we are talking about Palestine, Canada really involved so deeply in dividing our country. The plan of division in 1948 was drafted by a justice called Brand in the Supreme Court in Canada. Lester Pearson implemented that plan, United Nations. Who are these racists who never understood the indigenous struggle here to decide for my homeland that 55% of it need to go to European Jews? We have our own Arab Jews. They are the native of Palestine. But Mr. Milikowiski, or the so-called Netanyahu, this guy belonged to Poland. He is very welcome to be in Palestine like anybody else. But you need to respect the people of the land. And this is not my talk. In any issue, you have I am an Arab. I really love to read my history in my language and from, let me say it clearly, from our Arab historian. But here, just to be, nobody claimed to be, I am a bias. Since I came to this land here, I understood it's so difficult for people to understand the Palestine issue if they did not understand the issue here of the indigenous people. And it's again like the similarity we have narrative by both sides. The colonial settlers in Palestine and the colonial settlers wrote a lot. So in Arabic we say from its fat give it, like from Dehno Sa'il, I don't know how to say, but I'm going to use the Zionists their own talk. And it's that documented by the Zionists themselves, not by what we Palestinians wrote about what they said, because they changed their narrative from the beginning when they start to 1948 and on. In the beginning, they clearly described themselves as a colonial settler. All their organization had the name of colonial, like the Colonial Jewish Fund. All these organizations, at that time, colonialism was so popular. And later, when it became that is really known as a racist supremacy by Western, it became now talking about national liberation. Let me be clear about one thing. Anybody tell you it's an issue between Jews and Arab, or Jews and Muslim, or Jews and Palestinian, this person does not understand the subject at all. The issue is native and colonial settler. Never mind their religion. And it's sad when we talk about illegal occupied territory. All Palestine, it's illegally occupied. At least for us, the Palestinian. I am from Safad. I'm not going to accept my homeland to be called a Jewish state in the 21st century. I have no problem have a democratic, even secular state, where we separate religion from a state. But does that fit with the Zionist project? No way. They want a Jewish state. But all what I said now, it is related to what we have today. But all that is a secondary, believe it or not. All the struggle been set by outsider, like the British first, and then the Yanks now. The Genocide Joe, he is really the responsible about what is going on in Palestine. The Zionists are only the tool. They are only the sword or the knife that the American put in our heart and tell us, sit down and negotiate with it. If we cannot see who behind that crime really, who sponsored them, who gave them the ability, it's like you are dealing with a mad dog. You blame the owner. We have Zionism basically is a fanatic, weird thing. It's like KKK, believe it or not. KKK believe in Christian nationalism. Zionism, simply put, it's Jewish nationalism, period. How now? I am a Palestinian from Safad originally. My family been expelled in 1948. If today I converted to Judaism, I can become a citizen back in my homeland. I will be like any Russian or Chinese or Senegalese new converted Jew. We all will be in our homeland. We all will be writing in our Aramaic text and claim it's Hebrew. We all will use invented language in 1922 and say, this is our national language. This is our national home. And look at the flag. It's two rivers. It is not only about Palestine. It's from the Al-Furat to An-Nile. This is a colonial project that the Western installed there to keep us simply the Arab divided, to keep us separated. And our main problem, one of our main problems, that our Arab regimes don't represent us. No regime, you see, any regime in Arabic state now don't represent the people. There's difference between what we think as a people and what our regime talk in our name. So I was going to say a lot of things. It is a lot of things to say about this. But anyway, this is the month of Al-Nakba, and we will have a chance more to talk about it. And the one important thing is we will never forget. Our Nakba will stay always with us, and we will always remember until we return. Free Palestine!